Because I'm such a burper. A burper? A burper. Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Chelsea. Welcome to episode 7.
Holy shit, episode 7.
Holy
We're like
shit.
Podcasters.
We are podcasters.
I like instantly got distracted because I can't see if your mic's on, but I'm sure it's on.
Here you go. We're on, ready to roll. Guys, you may not know that last week, that was our second take. But I think the podcast was kind of different the second time around.
Yeah. Did we not mention that last week?
We didn't.
Oh,
we didn't even address it. We just steamrolled through.
Yeah, we totally filmed an entire podcast. And then the next day I realized the audio was just all staticky. And then we recorded 2 days later. We covered pretty much the same topics, but
I think we had more energy day 2, which is shocking for me.
Yeah, because you had a whole day of working.
Yeah, it was a nighttime. And
yeah, we filmed today because I don't go in the office, but mainly because this is your lightest day of work, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have anything in the evening. I'm kind of done at 11 a.m., which is
beautiful, glorious.
Yeah.
And
I took a fat nap today.
How was that?
It was really nice. Are you a napper?
I probably not. I mean, I enjoy a nap, but I don't know.
I feel like people go back and forth on this, or some people are like, "Oh, I take quick power naps," or I'm
not a power nap person. If I'm going to take a nap, it's going to be at minimum an hour.
I can do any and all versions of a nap or sleep.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. So when I got this little Aura ring that will tell me, and I'm always in the red when it comes to, it's called latency, and it's how long it takes you to fall asleep. And at first I was like, what do you mean red? Because it would be 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then I looked it up, and it's a sign of narcolepsy.
Oh, shit.
And then I went down an entire wormhole, and there are 2 versions of narcolepsy, and one of them is not obviously I'm trying to think of what that movie was, but where they just fall asleep on a dime. I obviously don't do that, but it's kind of if you're ever just lying down with nothing going on, or watching TV or reading, are you going to fall asleep? And for me, 9 times out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, literally, we went out on Saturday during the day. We went to Tiesto, which we can talk about later, but we came back to your place just to eat dinner, and then we were going to go out, and then literally you had a slice of pizza and you were knocked out.
Yeah. I was on my bed also. What do you want from me?
I low-key kind of knocked out too, but then I woke up and I was like, wait, aren't we supposed to go out?
Then you woke up and got a video of me asleep. Yeah. After you woke up.
I bet you were so happy when I was like, I'm not feeling it. I want to just let's call it a night. You were probably like, hell yeah. I probably couldn't have said anything better to you in that moment.
I mean, we had pizza. I was already home, and it was 10 p.m. Honestly, in the version of day drinking, that is my perfect scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun though. Tiesto.
Tiesto was cool. Brooklyn Mirage is a vibe.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to overhype it. And I've only experienced it at night, so that was the first time I went during the day, which I felt it was a different vibe, but it's massive, isn't it?
It's so huge.
And it's pretty efficient. I felt we didn't wait in any line, really.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is it's just packed with people, so if you want, you gotta claim your spot quick.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it was amazing. I definitely think it would be more of a vibe at night, because especially as the sun started to set, you could tell the energy just started to get different.
And all the lights, right. EDM, it's
a light show.
It's a light show. So yeah. So we got to go back for a night show.
Yeah.
I think David Guetta is coming soon, so that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'd be down to go back for sure.
That used to be my scene. I used to love EDM shows. I've been to so many, high school and college, really. We actually had this place in high school called Club Cinema, and it was so sketchy. It was all ages, or I don't know if you had to be 16 and up or if it was all ages, but That's why, like, sometimes I feel like I had the Euphoria experience. Like, I can kind of resonate with the show Euphoria. Our school colors were also the same too. My high school colors were black and teal. So, but this place, Club Cinema, like, everyone's doing drugs. I mean, like, on a Wednesday night, like, just going, like, Stevie Aoki would come. Like other big names like that, and it was kind of cool to have, but it was also like,
and you're like young in high school, just like,
it's like, where are our parents? Why are our parents letting us do this? Like,
and my thing was like, I went to teen night at the skating rink, which is basically we were just like a bunch of 13-year-olds grinding on each other. And now looking back, I'm like, that was nuts. And you're talking about like, yeah, we did drugs. And went to Steve Aoki. And I was like, oh, okay.
We were doing that. We were doing that too. We had an ice skating rink that everyone would go to. That was more of like a middle school thing. I feel like once you graduated middle school, you don't go to ice skating anymore. That's what it seemed like. But everyone was like in the middle grinding with ice skates on. It was wild.
Yeah. I remember feeling out of place there when I was 13, and yeah.
Were you doing anything bad? Like, were you smoking weed at that point in your life?
Oh no. In middle school was like I was an angel. I don't think I even drank until, well, I had a couple wine coolers in
Crazy.
6th grade. My grandparents owned a liquor store, so it's kind of like one of those things where I could drink at my grandparents' house, have a wine cooler or two, go crazy.
Those were good.
They were so good. That I like looked forward to going to my grandparents' house because I'm like getting my watermelon wine cooler.
Have you ever been? What's that thing when like people like they surprise you with?
You get iced.
Iced.
I have been iced.
You have?
Yeah.
I haven't.
For my little sister's bachelorette, the girl who drove rolled up and we all had one in our seats. So before we got in the car, we all had to chug it, which was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I feel like that would hurt. Like, I'm like...
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Because I'm such a burper. A burper? A burper. A burper? That, like, I take one sip of soda and I'm just like, bleh. I mean, all last season on the podcast, every single episode, I made an effort to burp. I let that go, guys. I hope. You're welcome.
Well, I was about to burp before we started this episode, and you were like, "Wait till the pod."
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to burp. Like I've burped like 3 times just sitting here, but it's kind of like the air just comes out of my.
Those don't count. I want like a. Yeah, I love a good belch.
Nice. I love that for you.
Anyways, yeah. So we're on episode 7, which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you listen or watch other podcasts?
I've started getting into a couple. There's one that I found on TikTok. I mean, I think it's called We're Not Well, but they're just funny.
Who hosts that, Dean?
They're
that rings a bell.
It's a girl named Lou and some guy, but they're in Australia or New Zealand, I think. I've only listened to a couple episodes, but I like all of their like little clips on TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people will just watch like clips. So I think that's like an important part that we're like trying to figure out. But yeah, I mean, I listen to a few podcasts. I watch most of them, but there's this one that I kind of started getting into. It's called Good Children. Have you heard it? Mm-mm. It's these like 2 young gay guys. They're probably like in their young 20s, and they've known each other since like elementary school. They're adorable, and they've only been doing it for a year. And like now they have like a podcast like produced by like Spotify, and they just had Julia Fox on as a guest. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like
that is cool.
And they've only been doing it for a year, so it's like, what can we do in a year?
We were just talking before we started. I'm drinking like my 3rd Diet Dr. Pepper beforehand of the season. And we're testing the mics, and I'm taking a sip, and I said, Dr. Pepper. And we were talking about, we're like, they should sponsor us. And then we were talking about all the people. We can just say we're not Pepsi people.
Yeah. I'm not afraid.
I mean, we're not afraid unless they would like to sponsor us.
Yeah. Unless they want to sponsor us, then I love Pepsi. Fuck Coke.
But yeah, one of our big things is like we used to have Regal movie memberships.
Oh yeah,
But the only like shit thing about Regal is they only do Pepsi products.
Ugh.
And like there's nothing better than a Diet Coke at the movies. So sometimes we would just go to McDonald's and like try and sneak it in from across the street. And we were successful because those people make no money and they don't care about their jobs. But I was like, yeah, but we wouldn't do Pepsi. And Brent was like, I would do Pepsi. And I was like, yeah, me too.
I would do it. If they pay me, I will do Pepsi.
Yeah.
There once in a while, like sometimes when I order Taco Bell is also Pepsi. And sometimes I want a soda and I don't have it. So I'm like, screw it.
You don't go for a Baja Blast?
No, I don't like sugary sodas. Like diet soda or no soda.
Oh.
Do they have a diet Baja Blast?
I don't know. I never get a drink there.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So when we make it on the podcast, and I'm saying we're making millions of dollars, we have all these events, but we have some downtime. What is like a big goal of yours, or like what would be your first dream to do with like lots of money and lots of time?
Okay. Wasn't expecting this question. So I was listening to the question. I was like, I thought like you meant like, what do you want to do like with our fame? But you mean like what do I want to treat myself with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. First thing, I really want to own property for some reason. I don't know if that'll be like the first thing, because that's probably like a little bit more like down the line. But I
think it would be, because I mean, obviously when we pop off, we're just going to be busy. We're going to be booked and busy. So when that like slows down and we get a little downtime, I'm thinking like, I'm thinking more like an investment goal.
Yeah. I want to like own property. I don't know where. Like in an ideal world, I'll have like a nice apartment in New York, and then I'll also have like a house somewhere else. I don't know where that somewhere else is. Maybe on the other side of the country, maybe upstate, maybe Florida. I don't know. But
I'm glad we didn't talk about this, because I'm the exact same.
Oh, really?
But my thing is like, I want to keep my New York apartment forever, but I would like to not be here in the winter.
Yeah.
When it starts getting dark early, and I just burped. When it starts getting louder. When it starts getting dark early and cold, I would like to retreat somewhere else, somewhere warm, somewhere sunny. Yeah,
like the reason why I would want to like own property elsewhere isn't necessarily for the weather, because like it's already getting hot as fuck here in New York and I'm already hating it. Like I just don't do well with the heat. I'm like, I don't know if you could tell, but me and the sun aren't really vibing like that.
But me and the sun vibe.
Yeah, you do. You love being like out in the sun. Like when we were in Austin last month or whenever we were like sitting outside, and like you would literally be like sitting directly in the sun. Like I always have to have the shaded seat. Like I have to.
No, give it to me straight. I honestly, and this is probably not good for my skin, but I love a good bake every now and then.
A good bake. Yeah, I mean, me too. Like when I go to the beach, like I do want to like fry a little bit, but like that's like the only environment where I want to be in the sun.
So you would be more for like a culture change, or just like a change of scenery.
Yeah, just to have, because like I want to stay in like New York City, but I don't think I'll have like a big enough property where I could do the things like that I could like with the house. Like I would want to have a house with like I'm talking luxury. Like I want to have a tennis court in my backyard. Like, you know, I want like a pool. I want like, you know, I want like a nice garden that someone else takes care of. Like things like that. Like, but in New York, I want to have just like a really nice apartment. But like that doesn't really exist. I can't have a tennis court in my New York City apartment.
That is like fuck you money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that even comes from podcasts, but yeah. We'd be willing to find out.
Definitely. But when you asked that question, I thought you were like, what do you want to do from this? And I mean, to be honest, I would love to do this for like as long as we can, and I would love for this to be a lucrative business or hobby. I don't know, but like I would love to like eventually incorporate like guests, like some celebrities, and like, you know, talk about things that are going on in the world with people that are like doing those things in the world. I think that would be really cool. Or like even like having the opportunity to like host a red carpet, you know, just like have some like fun banter with influencers and celebrities. I feel like that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, I think events would be fun, and I think that would be like a good thing for us.
I think we would both be really good at it. Like I definitely think you would. Like you just have like a really good inviting energy. Like
thanks.
Yeah. I mean, when we first met, I was like, have we met? Remember? I did that. So
yeah. And I think just like good on the fly. I think we're both welcoming people.
Yeah.
We'd make people feel
whether it's real or not.
So celebs, if you're listening.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Did I ask you what? Yeah, you said the same thing. You would want to.
Yeah, mine was kind of on the same, but that's really just because I wanted it to be like spring, summer.
Yeah.
All year round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on like expensive clothing. I'm sure like if I had more money, maybe I would, but like I don't know. I don't care too much to like be bullying down designer stuff, like especially clothing, because like I don't know. I feel like trends come and go so quickly, and like but I do appreciate nice shoes and like accessories, like leathered goods. Oh wait, not real leather, but like you know, like wallets and stuff like that. Like I like expensive things in that sense, but
yeah. I think mine would be more as far as like expensive things would be like. Experiences would definitely be where I experiences and travel. I think that'd just be the coolest part.
Yeah. I miss traveling. Like that's something that I want to get back into. And like I feel like we're starting to do that.
Yeah.
As like a friend group. And I'm excited to go to Vegas for my first time. So yeah, that's exciting.
Agreed.
This week has been like kind of crazy. It's been kind of like a emotional week, I feel like, for like a lot of people, and I keep hearing like Mercury is like getting out of retrograde.
I think today is the first day that it's out, which it's supposed to be which I know I keep sending you these TikToks that are like, because usually Leos and Aquarius are kind of in the same realm. I don't know. We're always brought up together.
We're opposites.
Yeah.
We're like direct opposites. So yeah.
But we're always brought up together. So I keep seeing all these videos. It's like Leos and Aquarius. Your time is about to come for the next year, starting May 16th.
Yes.
All of our wildest dreams are supposed to come through. Yeah. But I was also seeing this in March when it was like, at the end of March, it's opening, your struggles have ended. And I'm like, okay, but like it keeps getting delayed.
I know. When's this happening?
When is it happening for real?
I literally saw another one today that said like Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and someone else that I don't care about. You're about to like have the best luck from now to the end of May through the rest of the year. I'm like, no wonder why people have problems with astrology, because you're being so vague. Like,
right.
You know, like
tell me exactly. Tell my fortune, which I would be so willing to do that. I keep seeing all these, this is just me showing that I'm on the wrong side of TikTok, but there's all these fortune tellers in the West Village that people are like, they guessed all these things, which if you're listening and you're like, Chelsea, are you okay? I do take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm not going to believe anything that I don't want to believe. Like if somebody was about to tell me something bad, or like, I'll be like, that's trash. But if they tell me something that I want, so they're like, you're going to come across $50 million in the next 3 months. I'd be like, hell yeah, I am.
Yep.
And that just helps my manifestations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right with you. Like I take it however I want to take it. I respect astrology. I know a lot of people are like super, really into it. And I think that's really cool. But I feel like I just have fun with it. Like,
yeah.
I love checking CoStar every day. I love sending you guys when it says something weird or funny.
We should buy a bird together.
Yeah, like, what is that? But yeah, I don't like, I don't personally take it too seriously.
I would like to do like the full reading, but the thing is like I'm not confident in what time I was born. Like I sit here and I'm like, I know my big three, but this is all based on my mom. My mom's like, I think it was like 1:30 p.m. And I'm like, no, I need you to know.
Yeah.
I even
Your entire life depends on this.
my entire life and my future depends on the exact time of my birth. So maybe I'll call the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what hospital you're born?
Actually, I do. I mean, I was born in BFE, so there's only one.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you see a fortune teller like last year and they said something like not so nice?
Oh, on my birthday. On my birthday, it was a palm reader. She was just sitting outside of where we were doing brunch. And I went up to her and she like starts looking at my palm and she asked my birthday, which in that moment, I'm like, is she just going to try and read me like my astrology? Because I know. And she starts reading and she goes, you're a mean person. And my face was the meme that is me. The fuck. And she's like, but you don't want to be. That's just how you come off. And that's when, from that moment forward, I'm like, this is bullshit. I just wasted $50.
Because you just want to believe what you want to believe.
I just want to believe what I want to believe.
No.
Listen. I can be a lot of things, but I know 100% for sure that I am not mean.
You are not mean.
And I don't know anybody that thinks that. If you do think that, please step forward.
Yeah.
I'd love to apologize.
You don't even have a resting bitch face.
No,
Like,
I smile. I can't help it. So I was like, okay, we're done. She's like, would you like to continue the reading for however many dollars? I'm like,
no.
absolutely not.
Wait, what's your rising?
Gemini.
Oh.
And Gemini moon, as far as I know.
Okay. Because, rising is like how you come off, like your first impression of people. So, like, I don't know. Geminis get a bad rep, but.
But I think Geminis are like chatty. Mm-hmm. They're usually.
Yeah, they're like adaptable people. Like, so they can kind of be thrown in any situation and figure it out.
Yeah. I actually looked today at like which one the timing of your birth affects the most, and it is your rising.
Mm-hmm. It's the only one that, like you can find out your whole chart without knowing the time of birth, but you won't know your rising.
But I think like all of the houses and stuff it would affect too. Yeah.
Which I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I'm not that far in. I would like to know though.
I don't know if I want to.
I do.
It's like a whole other language.
I think that's just because I'm naturally just unrealistically optimistic. So I'm going into every scenario, even like thinking of going to a fortune teller. I'm like, they're about to tell me all these good things. Like if they started to tell me bad things, I'd be like, whatever, I'm out. Yeah. I'm not hearing this.
I would definitely be into like talking to a fortune teller, like a psychic, but I'm not really into like mediums.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that are into that and like have asked me like if I want to. But like something about that doesn't sit well with me. Like, let the dead rest,
Yeah. I don't think I know many dead people that would speak to me.
What a weird thing to say. Why wouldn't they speak to you?
I'm very fortunate at this point in my life to not have known that many people like super closely.
You're like, I know dead people, but like they hate me. They're not going to talk to me.
The dead people are the ones like, this bitch is mean, actually.
I had no clue what you meant by that. Man, my shorts just keep getting shorter and shorter by the episode.
Just rising up. I'm telling you, we're just showing more and more skin. I think that's the weather.
Yeah, it's hot. Plus, sex sells.
If we just get like a large boost in views after this episode, your shorts are getting shorter and shorter for sure.
Oh my god, the at Tiesto, those pants that I wore, like I wore. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I wore these like are they mesh?
I would say they're mesh.
Yeah, like long, just like mesh pants, basically like see through.
They were cute.
And I just wore like Calvin Klein like undies, like wavy tighties, but they weren't white. They were like
Black.
I was gonna say blacky tighties, but that sounded wrong to say. So I'm not gonna say that, even though I just said it. Yeah, it was a nice breeze, I would say.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I actually really liked dressing up, and because I don't think like rave girl is my core vibe, but it's fun to pretend.
I loved your outfit. You were
Thanks.
giving like G.I. Jane, like combat
Tough bitch.
tough bitch. You look
Yeah.
cool. I love
Yeah.
like the bandana or like the
Thanks.
scarf thing.
Actually, stole that directly from my little sister, so shout out to her. They're doing like a full she is in a country music band. They're doing like a full
Your
tour
sister's
right
in
now.
a country music band?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you not know that?
I think I knew that.
Yeah. It's called Della Rose. But
You're like, it's called the Dixie Chicks.
but yeah, they just did
Wait, sorry. What's her name?
Della Rose.
Della Rose.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think she was like a rebel girl.
Is she the lead singer?
No, like in history.
Oh.
There's no Della Rose. It's Emily and Chrissy.
What's Della
Those
Rose?
are the two people.
I'm so confused right
Della Rose is like a rebel cowgirl or something.
now. Oh.
That they
That's not-
named it after.
So her band name is not Della Rose?
Her band name is Della Rose.
Oh, okay.
But Della Rose is not a person in the band.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we're on the same page. That's what I was on that page, but yeah.
Yeah. But they just did like a little tour in Arizona. So they're like out of the state
Nice.
doing stuff. Yeah. Super proud of her.
Can I like find their music like on like
It's on Spotify and Apple. And they have an Instagram that they post a lot of stuff.
That's awesome. So like right after people listen to our podcast, they can just go over and search Della Rose and listen to some
Exactly.
awesome country music.
Listen to some bops. Yeah, they're both moms that they decided because my sister's been singing for a while. She does a lot of acoustic shows, like especially in the town that we're from. But they decided that all the money that they get, they're just going to put back into the band. They're going to give it one big go for a full year and see where it takes them. And then, yeah, but they're like on some bigger radio stations in Texas. So
That's so
I'm
awesome.
happy for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I don't remember where I was going with this conversation.
I don't know, but I wish I like was in a band. Like I wish I could like sing, like really sing. Like,
I do too.
Like I get like so jealous sometimes when I'm like, if you see like live music and you just see that bitch like wailing, and I'm like, because like I do that in the shower, but like
I do too. And she writes songs. They're like super emotional, but it's not, I feel like that's such a good way to get your emotions out on paper, and people aren't looking at you like you're weird. Like she's singing about her most traumatic experiences and just wailing, and people are like, oh my God, that's so good. And I'm like, yeah, she's telling her deepest, darkest secret, and people like don't even care. They're just like, wow, good music.
Yeah.
Like what a way to let it all out. And then for me, like I just have to say it, and they're just like, wow, she's
Yeah.
getting vulnerable.
well, when she makes it big, like then people will really start diving in, just like
Like Taylor Swift.
can't write a song without people like speculating every single detail about it. But
True, i.e. me.
yeah,
I go down the wormhole. I'm not like as intricate that I'm just gonna try and find Easter eggs, but when people talk about the Easter eggs, I'm like, whoa.
yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Like if it's on my algorithm, I'll look into it. But are we gonna go to the Taylor Swift concert?
I think we are.
I-
I still feel. I mean, we don't have tickets, but I still feel like worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I'm at MetLife Stadium and I'm sitting in the parking lot.
I saw a TikTok or a video today, and it was like people like this, like two people walking past people that didn't have tickets. They were just like outside of the stadium, and like the sound was like, "Oh, watch out, there are poor people here." And I was like telling you, like, I mean, I guess I'll go to the stadium if I don't have tickets, but like my pride, like that's gonna hurt me. Like all these people going in and not me. Me? Do you know how many minutes of Taylor Swift I listened to last year? I literally, Apple told me I listened to 46,000 minutes of Taylor Swift last year, and I didn't get a freaking code.
Oh, you are. Codes came out today, and you were not on the list. Maybe something bigger is coming. And see, this is where my unrealistic optimism comes in. Is we're gonna find some great tickets. There was a girl that goes to Row House, and she had tickets in Philly for Friday night. Went Friday night, and she was like, and Saturday night, I just decided that we were gonna go again. So they went into the parking lot, and so there she was like, there were like 20,000 people.
That's
there.
insane. Like,
Yeah.
is that has that ever happened before? Like, I've never heard that before, where like literally tens of thousand people are just standing outside of a stadium because they can hear it. Like,
Just singing. Yeah.
that's
with
insane.
them.
Like, that's so. Imagine being Taylor Swift and like you're sold out like a 60,000 seat or stadium, and then on top of that, 20 extra thousand people are outside. Like,
I think that's the coolest part is I'm like, I don't know Taylor Swift, but I'm like so proud of her.
right?
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, girl, you did it all right.
Yeah.
You did it all right.
And like that's why like a lot of people like there's a lot of like Taylor Swift haters, and it's like Taylor Swift is like who you want your daughter, your little sister to look up to, your son, your whatever. Like, why are you hating? She really has done everything right. What is she like?
She's a great role model, and she's smarter than any of your favorite artists. Like the amount of work that we've talked about this, but the amount of work that she puts into literally everything that she does is insane.
Yeah. And like I've been seeing a lot so like Beyonce's on tour now, which I'm sure that show, I mean, just from the videos I've seen, that show looks incredible. I mean, I've been to a Beyonce concert, so like I already know she's incredible. But like I'm seeing a lot of just like negativity, like people are writing Taylor Swift can never, like on like Beyonce's performance. It's like, why are you doing that? You know what?
Taylor
like,
Swift is not Beyonce,
yeah, you're right.
but Beyonce is not Taylor Swift.
Exactly. Taylor Swift could never, but then Beyonce can
How
never.
many people are standing outside of Beyonce's?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of like that, but like what Taylor does best, Beyonce can't do. What Beyonce does best, Taylor can't do. You know what I mean? So,
you just appreciate them for what they
yeah,
have to offer.
they're completely different artists, you
Yeah.
know? And if you really want to go there, never mind. I'm not gonna. Never mind.
Let's get controversial.
I can. I mean, like if you're talking about music, Taylor Swift's a musician. She writes all her music, and it's like really like detailed, like high level writing. She plays the guitar, she plays the piano, she plays like so many different like string instruments. She's a musician. Beyonce's an incredible vocalist and a dancer. They're both performers in their own right. But like we're talking about musical artistry, I'm going with Taylor Swift.
I think a lot of people would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, on that same front, it's like Beyonce does best what Beyonce does.
My God. I mean, how do you sing and dance? Like, how do you dance like that and then also sing so in tune? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'll agree. Taylor Swift couldn't do that. But, yeah.
And that's what we think about that.
Yeah. And I don't care who disagrees. Get your own podcast. Do you want to get a little controversial?
I'm ready.
Well, I feel like I just got a little controversial with the Taylor versus Beyonce, but yeah, I found some leftover controversial opinions from last season that I just like never got to, and I was like, why don't we just dive into those?
Let's dive in.
So there's 4. Let's see. Okay. People who use read receipts. Read receipts or read receipts?
I think it's red.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So I used to be one that used some read receipts.
Why?
Read receipts. So for me, it was accountability and a gaslighting tactic.
I was about to say. I was like, bitch, you better be real because no one uses it just for accountability.
So I think my politically correct answer would have been that I would get a text and I would forget that I got it, and I would open it and then I wouldn't respond, and that would cause a whole thing. And so I turned on my read receipts so I would know if I opened that text, someone would see that read receipt and it would make me respond kind of thing, but that is not true. So the real answer is, if there was usually a guy that I didn't want to talk to, and they text me, I didn't have to respond for a really, really, really long time. And then when they got bitter about it, I could just be like, I have my reader suits on. You see that I didn't read it.
Thank you for being honest, because I do think that's exactly how people use it, and like that's why I don't like it. I feel like if I know people that do use read receipts, but like I do think it's like a toxic trait. I think it's like playing games, and like I don't like that.
There is that, but then there is nothing worse than sending a message and then being left on read with a read receipt.
Yeah.
I'm like, like you're sending a message. That alone is a message.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they do respond like an hour or two later, I'm like, why did you open it and do that to me emotionally?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're traumatic.
They really are. Like, I just feel like, I don't see the point, but also like, I think you don't owe anyone an immediate response, So like, we all have our phones on us all the time. So I get it all the time. We're like, oh my God, I'm just seeing this. No, you saw it. You forgot to respond. And now you remembered and you're coming back to me. And that is okay.
Yeah.
Do not tell me you just saw this, bitch. You have your phone on. You're checking. I saw you update your story like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know you have an Apple Watch. You got a ding.
Yeah.
You literally read it on your watch.
That brings me to the next controversial opinion. Are you done with read receipts?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another controversial opinion, and I wrote these last year, and it just said Apple Watch. Apple Watches. And like, I remembered exactly what I meant when I just wrote Apple Watches, because I can't stand when people wear Apple Watches like with formal attire. Like, Apple Watches should only be worn with like athletic wear or just like casual wear if you're going to the grocery store. Just like, it's not cute. I don't think it's cute.
I mean, some people have like cute little ones, but it's definitely not a stylish watch.
Yeah.
And I have an Apple Watch. Not wearing it right now because it's not cute. But the hard part is like I do use it as a watch and as a way to just like not look at my phone every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But you said, do you do this? And I was like, well, I actually don't, because I've heard you rant about this before. And so it's something, not on the podcast, but just in real life. So it is something that I think about like before we go out and stuff. I'm like, but it is true. Like, I don't need this Apple Watch. I don't need to be tracking my activity. I don't need to be so accessible that I get every single text message right now. Not in the nighttime. I'm fine. I can keep it casual. I also still have this ring that I wear everywhere to track all my vitals.
We're just constantly being tracked, which is so funny how like people are, when like everyone was like getting like the vaccine, and people are like, the people that were like anti-vax were like, I'm not gonna get it because they're gonna track me. You have an iPhone. You're being tracked.
Well, and also like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's the thing. This may be another controversial thing. Like, people talk about, I don't want this place to have my data, or when I talk into or if somebody's listening in my phone and I keep getting all of these like reminders or like ads and things. Mm-hmm. Like, I love that.
I know.
Please remind me of something that I wanted that I forgot about.
You're making my life easier, actually.
You're making my life easier. And I'm like, track me, so what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm there's nothing so insane going on in my life that I'm like, the government can't know about this.
Yeah. Now, if I'm starting to see ads that are like, go unalive your next door neighbor, then maybe I'll start thinking, okay, maybe these ads are being a little insane, but
you've watched one too many screen movies.
Yeah. But for now, the ads are like, get a new bath mat.
Remember the sweater you wanted?
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, I do. Yeah. So take my data. You don't have to wear your Apple Watch, and turn off your read receipts.
Yeah.
I would like to, let's play devil's advocate. I'm gonna jump back to the read receipts. What would be a good reason to have your read receipts on? And maybe someone out there, if you guys have your read receipts, let us know.
I can't think of a good reason. I would love to. Can you?
No.
Yeah, let's put that on Instagram, and because I know a lot of people do it. So, but I don't think there is a good reason. I feel like people do it because they want to play games, like with a guy. They're talking to a guy, and they want to, like, you know, if they're mad at them, they want to show them that their message was read. You know, or yeah, I can't think of a single good reason.
That's, yeah.
All right.
Next.
Social media accounts for pets.
Would you like me to go first?
Does Samson have a?
Samson does. It's Samson does New York.
Oh.
Yeah. He hasn't posted in a while.
Okay. I guess I don't follow him.
Maybe
I
not. He
don't.
has great engagement.
I don't follow pet accounts. Like, my friends they'll make one and they'll follow me, and then they'll be like, why didn't you follow? I'm like, because we're grown. I don't need to follow. It's it's cringy. It's like the captions where they like pretend like they're like a person. They're like, I just sniffed 14 butts today, and now I'm gonna go barge into my mother's room and stink up her bed. Like,
Well, first of all, that's not Samson's personality. I think originally when I came, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take him everywhere. We're like, he's going to go sit outside in bars with me, and, you know, maybe we'll get a little bit of notoriety that way. Because I would love for my dog to be famous and for me to just like take my dog places. But like, there was one small thing that I didn't really consider, and that's just that Samson's not very good in public. So yeah, he doesn't go a lot of places. So there's really not a lot of places to promote.
and guys, if you haven't seen Samson, he is a bear.
He's a big boy. He's
Yeah.
like 100, maybe like 115 pounds now.
Same.
He's he's a Saint Bernard mix. Big boy, lovely, but loves to jump and would love to run after any dog he sees
He's cute.
to
though.
say hello.
He's a
Yeah,
cutie.
he is cute. He is cute, but just not a pleasure to have out on a leash.
So you don't mind social media accounts for pets?
I don't.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I complain too much, and I'm just like a hater. Like, you'll like send me like TikToks, and I'm like, they're not funny.
You
not-
hate my favorite people.
Not like the TikToks. I mean, like the TikToker, like
Yeah.
comedians. I'm like,
That has happened like 3 times. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this person. You're like, ew.
yeah. I'm a hater.
But also, I just looked at Noah as he's glaring me down. He's not quite the influencer. I mean, maybe
Look at him. He's lounging. Be nice to him.
I am nice. Anyway,
I don't know. The
I just
fortune
don't
teller
think
said
that's
differently.
I don't think that's the life he's choosing to lead, is the life of an influencer.
Noah?
Yeah. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I think he's giving freeloader at the moment.
He's like I wish we could turn the camera around. He's all over my Instagram. Just visit my Instagram. He's a chunk. All right. Well.
So in summary, Beyonce and Taylor are different. Turn off your fucking read receipts.
Yes.
Don't wear your Apple Watch to formal events. It's unnecessary.
And Mercury is no longer in retrograde.
Right.
I think.
Good things are coming? Question mark.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.